Welcome to another podcast episode of, hold on, back to one. Hey y'all, we're here with another episode of a Life Offset podcast.
I am Ruby.
I'm Robin.
And I am Crystal. And today we're going to talk about what?
The journey.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
The journey. How you want to start this off? The journey. The journey of being an actor in LA, or the journey of how you got to LA. What are we talking about?
Yes, we want to cover and talk about our beginnings. What was the moment? Where were you?
Mm-hmm.
And what was the moment? And what were the things that made you make the decision to actually move to Los Angeles to pursue a career as an actor, which is probably one of the craziest things that you could do in life. Yet here we are.
We out here. I think for me, it was never a question. It was always like, I got into theater in high school, and the first play I ever did, I said to myself, I want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, the experience that I experienced being on stage, it may have just been the instant gratification, and as a teenager, that's just everything. But I knew in that moment that I didn't want to do anything else, and I had always said, when I graduate college, I'm moving to LA. I just knew it.
Where were you when you decided, when was the moment?
What was the moment that I moved? Is that what you're asking?
When was the moment you literally decided, we're going to pack this family up today and we're moving?
So I had some setbacks. So I knew in high school that I'm going to be an actor. I'm going to move to LA. I'm going to do this. And then I became a mother at 19. I got pregnant at 19, became a mother at 20. And I said, okay, well, I need some stability. So I joined the military. I always knew, no matter what, in the back of my mind, I'm going to LA, I'm going to LA. And then I was still in college. Go Cougs. I'm a U of H alumni. Yes. And I told myself, non-negotiable, I allowed, me giving birth to my daughter to be the reason I pushed it back. But I said, when I graduate college, I'm moving to LA. And I didn't allow myself to make an excuse. I graduated college in May of 2017, and I was out here in August of 2017. And that's just it.
Like that.
I love that too.
It just always, no matter what I was going through in life, it was always a recurring moment. And every time I had to push it back, I made sure that I said, okay, I'm pushing it back, but this. So there were multiple moments.
But you held true to your word.
I held true to my word to myself.
I think that's probably the most important thing in your entire career is holding true to yourself and what you say you want, no matter what things come along and try and knock you off course.
Absolutely.
Right.
I love that.
When I was 3,
Come on, 3.
I knew that I wanted to be on TV when I was 3 years old. I knew it then. I knew it, as I grew older. And when I was about 6, 7 years old, a movie came in my neighborhood, which was The Confirmation. I was on set. I did background for this movie. I won't name it because we're going to be aging me and we're not going to do that. So this
I would like to know the movie.
I'll tell you.
I think everyone should know. No, but this is important because it's the best when you look back.
It was just background.
It don't matter. We might be able to find you.
It won't, because it's a whole other episode. But
okay.
I was one of those kids who needed to wander off. This movie shot in my neighborhood. I remember the vans pulled up. They were doing location scouting in my neighborhood. I was riding my bicycle with my friends, and this white van pulled up with white people in it. My neighborhood didn't have white people. So I was like, what y'all doing here? And they were like, oh, we're going to make a movie. And I was like, oh, can I be in it? I'm 6 years old. I have no shame. I don't care. I want what I want. Kids don't care, right? They were like, yeah, sure. I don't know what happened between then and there, but next thing I know, paperwork landed at my house and we were on set. And that was my first time being on set at 6 or 7 years old. And I just remember sneaking out of holding and walking through the set with my wristband and looking at all the jibs and the cranes and all that stuff. And I was like, I'm supposed to be here. And I was like 6.
Wow.
So my drive has always been to be, on TV acting or whatever. I didn't even know what acting was. I just knew I wanted to be on TV. Mm-hmm. And being on set, I just felt at home at 6 years old. And so with that being said, I made sure that I tried to weave my life around filmmaking and whatever have you, the arts. And when I got out of college, I didn't pursue acting in college, but when I got out of college, I made it my mission to come to LA. And so I came to college here first, and this is where I spent my freshman year. I had a crazy, wild college experience, but I started here.
I love that.
Yes, I figured out a way to weasel my way down to LA.
Yeah.
Because I'm only 6 hours away, so it's not that far.
You gotta do a lot of weaseling in this business.
Yeah, you got to.
Sure. For me, not similar in the sense of your exact story, but my grandmother told me whenever I was 3 that I was going to be on television. She told me I was going to be wearing like certain outfits, like I was going to have a corner office, and like she always told me I was going to be like Sherry, who was an amazing anchor on the news in Houston. And so I grew up watching this woman. And fell in love with her skin, like Melody Lawson, like all the people in Houston. So I knew that I would have something to do with TV or like red carpets or something, right? But I didn't know what that path would look like. And so as a kid, from elementary all the way to high school, I was in tap, jazz, ballet, show choir, every play that there was. The started Aladdin, Lion's King, like literally the Lion King, sorry. Everything. And I got my volleyball scholarship, and because that was my main focus, like I completely drifted away from the arts and performing, which I didn't realize until probably a couple years ago. I'm like, oh my gosh, I had performed my whole life and then stopped. Just to find myself right back. But I think the moment for me that I was like, all right, this has got to happen. It's got to happen now was post having both of my kids, post my husband being shot and having all of these surgeries. We had moved to Austin to get out of Houston for a little better life, and kind of discovering the commercial scene is huge there. If anybody is looking to work in Texas, like Texas has great work, great things that are coming together for the state.
A lot of great incentives.
A lot of great incentives. But while I was there, I was taking a conservatory with Tony Brock and Sally Allen. Shout out to you guys, a working group. And I found out about this program and did the program. And at the end of the 2 years, it was a conservatory. And whenever I finished, my teacher said in my review, she was like, you really have mastered what Texas looks like. And you've done an exceptional job. And you're clearly comfortable, like, where you are. She said, but it's time for you to get uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Because I was booking everything. Like, when I tell you I was booking everything, like, I was literally telling directors, like, I dare you not to book me in there. Like, it was crazy. Shout out to that Advanced Auto Parts production team. But it was so crazy. And having that review with her, and she was like, I think that whenever you get the chance, you should look into other markets. She was like, maybe don't move there. She was like, but just like get a P.O. box in New Mexico, or like go study somewhere, go do something, see what your next move is. And so I like internalized it for a couple days. And my best friend of 25 years lived in LA, and she came to visit like 2 days later after my teacher told me that, and after I finished my conservatory. And when she was going back, took her to the airport, and I was leaving Bergstrom. I was headed back to the house, and everything clicked. I will never forget, like, I was in the passenger side and my husband was driving, like, and being in that moment, I said, oh, I have a free place to stay while I'm in LA. And my teacher just said, go, like, test out other markets. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that could be something, but like, there's no way I'm going to be able to take like a little bit of a sabbatical to like do this for my family, right? And I talked to my husband. He was not wild about the idea, about being left with the kids for a month and a half. But in that moment, like, I was like, if I can cut it there, like, and in this time, like, we could move.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. So I just like got it situated and like put it all together and put all the pieces. And then I was like, all right, well, if I'm going to train while I'm there, what are you going to train in?
Yeah.
And I was like, what haven't you done? And I was like, I haven't done improv. And so I just got on Google and I was like, top improv schools in LA, and saw the Groundlings. So I signed up for the Groundlings, and I was like, all right, I'm going to go here. Not realizing it was the Groundlings. And
shout out to the Groundlings.
Shout out to the Groundlings. And getting here and like spending the month and a half, and my husband came to visit, and he was like, I've never seen you happier.
Wow.
Like, because I was just skating. I would skate from downtown to Santa Monica. I would get on the train, Santa Monica to Venice. I would skate all day with like neon key on and like all the top roller skaters.
Was this when you came to visit that year?
Yes.
And that wasn't even that long ago.
No, it was like, what, 2021? I want to say it was 2021.
Wow.
And so I came down and was studying, and like whenever I got back, I was like, all right, like I wrapped up. I was one of the top people in my class. I was like, all right, I can cut it at the ground because I'm not trash, not too much trash. And I got back home and we put the plan in action. We're like, we have 1 year to get enough money to move to LA, and I was like, I gotta save $35,000
Yeah.
in order to make this happen.
Wow.
And literally a year later, I booked 2 Ford commercials, and within 2 months, I had little under $35,000, and I was like, "Let's go today!"
That's not a sign.
And like we are it. Like those checks, those residuals. I had never had residuals. And those residuals changed my life.
Absolutely.
And that's when we came to LA, and we've been here 3 years now. So
Wow.
it's crazy.
I love that.
That is amazing. That is funny that you were like, let's go.
Let's go.
You know when God's sending you a sign.
Right.
It's time to go.
But you know how I really knew? Because even the process of like trying to find houses and looking at, we couldn't find anything. And everything we did find like
Goes fast.
so fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, maybe God doesn't want me to.
Mm.
And then I'll never forget, I had a big activation for Earth Day in Dallas with Foot Locker. And I was there during the day, and we were submitting, and my husband called me and was like, sign these papers and send them over. And I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, somebody's getting us a place. We have a condo. And I was like, what? He's like, yes. He's like, send them over.
That's amazing.
But before I had left on that trip, I told him, I said, I am packing up this house.
Wow.
Because the only way that God will allow this to happen is if we are packed and ready to go.
Come
I
on.
was like, we have to be ready. We didn't have a house. We didn't have nothing. I left for that trip one day, came back the next day.
Mm.
We moved less than a week later, and we were on our way, kids and all, road
Yes,
trip
God.
to LA.
Wow.
So I was like, you know, sometimes it's like just the action of like what you're telling the universe that you're doing versus asking.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of those moments. But
Wow.
it was really special.
I love that. I can attest to that when it comes to just moving.
Yeah.
When you want something in this industry, especially as actors, a lot of stuff doesn't just happen for us. But it's like when you say, okay, I'm gonna just take class. I'm not booking anything. I'm gonna just take class. I don't have a place to live, but I'm gonna pack these bags. When you take action, it's crazy how everything, it's like you become a magnet.
You do.
And everything that you need, God is like, here you go, here you go, here, keep moving,
Right.
here you go, here you go.
I also believe, like, I'm a firm believer in cycles as far as how the year goes.
Absolutely.
And I tell people, like, there's no coincidence that we're shooting the podcast in July, August, because this is the exact time that happened. And every time around this year, there are major changes that always happen.
And I moved here in August.
Always the good stuff.
Wow.
So it's just so many like little things that you see or that you know or that maybe you don't pay attention to. But when you really start to pay attention and you pay attention to the patterns, you pay attention to what happened, what's going on, like you know what to do.
You know, it's
For me, every time I say I don't know how, but I'm gonna do X, Y, Z. But I always leave with I don't know how because I have to release the how.
Right.
Yeah.
But once I say that, it has to happen,
Right.
and it always happens.
Yeah.
So like you were like, I need $35,000. You got just shy of $35,000, which was enough.
Right.
Enough to say, okay, that was my goal.
Right.
And so I
Enough to have $500 to go to Costco. And that was it. That was it. When we got here, your deposit, like everything. I was like, you got $500 left. I don't know what we're going to do.
that was literally
Don't know how we gonna make it.
I got laid off. Well, I was in Houston.
Mhm.
So after being in LA and everything, I had a crazy journey of life. But I ended up living in Houston for 7-8 years. And I was like, I need to get back to LA because I wanted to act. You know, there was acting opportunities, but there weren't that many. And with me being, you know, a full figure woman or a plus size woman, my roles were limited to just Walmart mom. And that was it. Like, that was all I can do. And I was like, I know that the climate is changing. And I know I just need to get to LA. I knew I need to get back to California.
Right.
Mhm.
So I started taking trips. I took Spirit, came back home, stayed with some friends, did the same thing, kind of what you did. Just kind of like saw the lay of the land because I hadn't been here in a long time. And I knew I wanted to go to certain agencies. I signed up with an agency in San Francisco, auditioned for them. They were like, hey, when you move officially, we'll sign you. And I said, all right. And when I was driving away, I was in my mom's car. I was like, yeah, I want to make San Francisco.
That's right. That's right.
And I didn't have the conviction in my chest to say LA. I was trying to say it, but I didn't feel it.
Yeah.
I knew I felt San Francisco. I was like, make San Francisco. But LA, I was like, I'm gonna make LA. It was like weak. It was real.
Yeah.
It was real weak. But I visited both places, and when I did come back to Houston, I got laid off.
Wow.
But I had just gotten just enough money to do it, to get up out of there. I had already packed all my stuff. I got rid of a bunch of stuff, and I was ready to go because I knew this is where I was coming back anyway. And I got a job out here. I signed up and got a job here. Everything was aligned
Right.
Yes.
because I put action for it. But I said, I don't know how. But I just knew I had to put some effort towards it to get back here. And I came back here with a job. I had like $3,000 in my pocket. But by the time Christmas was over with, because I came here on the 18th of December, by the time Christmas was over with, I went back home to the Bay for a couple weeks.
Mhm.
Gone. Just gone.
Yeah.
I had $300 after Christmas. But I ended up back in LA.
Yeah.
Stayed with a friend for a little bit. It was a crazy journey, but you put forth a little bit of effort.
You do.
You
You
do.
have to. I feel like the theme is there's never a perfect time.
No.
In circumstances.
I feel like so many people wait for the perfect time. I'm guilty of
The
it.
universe always makes the circumstances come to you.
Yes.
And they always happen that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just there are parts of the story that I didn't have a place to officially stay because my friend lives in a 1-bedroom apartment and has a Cane Corso, which is this big and was likely to eat me. So I refused to. I was
That's how you
like,
say Cane Corso?
mm-hmm.
Oh.
And
Like the cane Corso.
no, all of our people like to say, "You got you a Cane Corso." No, sir.
Okay.
Um, Great poupon. But like I didn't have a place to stay. It was right when COVID had lifted. Like all the band in LA was like Zombieland.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy that lived next door to them that was one of their really good friends. He was like the heir to like McDonald's or something like that. His mom was something big. But he left his apartment fully furnished right next door to my best friend. Like literally like this is her apartment. You open the door, you close the door, it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
They called him and he was like, yeah, she can stay there. I had a free place to stay downtown LA. That aligned.
Wow.
Like same thing back to work. Whenever I was working with Foot Locker, they just so happened to open up the LA market. Guess who ran the LA market whenever I got here?
Amazing.
After that $500, that's how I got through the first year. Like all the things just start to transpire and open up when you just put it out there.
You have to put it out there.
You do.
have to. My therapist always says, shout out Dr. Reed, you just tell God the request, but the plan is none of your business.
The how is none of your
Go sit down.
Yeah. Go sit down.
Go do your
Yeah.
work.
You've made your request. You've put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now just get to work.
Period.
And a common theme also is that you can save money, you can have money, but one thing LA ain't gonna do is take it.
Period.
Just don't eat it up.
Every single time. Every single time. You come out here with $10,000, that is not enough.
Laughable.
And don't have kids.
Yeah.
35 wasn't enough.
35 would.
1,000. We're talking 1,000, not 3,500. I had 3,500. She had 35,000. We both ended up with no money.
The U-Haul is 10.
I had about
okay?
3,500 too. With a kid.
Shoot.
So,
The U-Haul alone today is 10 to 12. Okay.
Literally.
The deposit is gonna be a solid 5 to 8.
yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
like you just. Whew.
And we're laughing about it, but I think it's so important to say, like, it's scary.
Mhm.
And I think, like, I want to make sure we don't make too light of it because, like she said, we moved out, and like you too, we moved out here with the deposit, first month's rent, and groceries. That is scary as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not grounded, you will come out here and you will be hungry and you will not have space for your kids to lay their head. So don't come out here and be like, oh, well, Ruby, Robin, and Crystal did it and they didn't really have that much money. It's like, no, but we were grounded in something and we knew. If you come out here and you, what's it called when you don't
Waver.
you're wavering,
Mhm.
you will fall.
Yeah.
You have to be planted.
And first of all, let's not get it twisted. I had a job offer.
Mm-hmm.
I got the job. I did the interview. I never started that job. Not only did I not start that job, the friend that I stayed with, I was sleeping in her kitchen.
Come on. Mm.
The stove, refrigerator. So when people needed to come get some water and juice,
They stepping over you.
I'm in the air mattress in the corner.
But let's also add to that, and let's talk about the number of people we know that didn't even have the corner or the kitchen, but that were homeless and living in their car. Because I can think of two off top.
Or in somebody's gym that they knew. They were like, oh, they let me sleep in the back of the gym.
Or the back of the U-Haul where that they put an air mattress in and slightly cracked it, even though they were terrified that somebody was going to come in there and harm them.
Wow.
Like, people go lengths. Like, we can talk about our struggle, but there's so many struggles out here.
And people make that sacrifice to come here for our dreams or for their dreams. And it's not something, like she said, it's not something to take lightly. Like, yeah, everybody struggle. Oh, yeah, I heard it, got it through the mud. But y'all really don't know what it's like to be eating beans and corn for an extended period of time.
For 3 years.
Y'all got my homegirl, I'm not gonna say who it is, but y'all know her. Anyway, she was like, yeah, I only eat tuna for a year and a half.
Beans and rice. Straight up, me and my kids.
Yep.
And I have to explain that. Why are we eating beans and rice every day? Because it's delicious, nutritious, and it's full of protein. And it fills you up fast.
That's
And it's
one
cheap.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
Everybody was like, oh, you lost weight. You look good. This is in like 2019, 2020. I was like, yeah. I'm hungry.
Yeah. No, for real.
And I was walking, and I totaled my car too. So within 3 months of coming here, not only did I not have the job that I came here for, because for some reason it just didn't work out, but not only did I not get to do the job, I'm sleeping in the kitchen, then I totaled my car. So I don't have a car. I don't have adequate income. And all my savings is gone.
And
so
you couldn't get income because you didn't have a car to get to the income.
You know what? I got hired. So funny. 2 days later, I got hired for Red Cross to do CPR trainings, and you needed a car. It was one of those remote. You got to drive everywhere jobs. God provided for a good 6 months of that. I don't know how, but He did, and I'm grateful. But yeah, I was like super part-time doing that job. And I also just so happened to be working for the Metro. So I had a Metro pass. So I can get on the train and the bus, and I was working for the bikes. So I can get the bikes, the trains, the buses, whatever. So I had, like, even when things go crazy, you still have something.
Right.
Like, God always works everything out. Like, it's weird. But
And it's because you weren't wavering.
Mm-hmm.
You were planted in something.
Yeah, I struggled. I cried. I sweat. I bled. Everything. And I also lost weight because I was walking everywhere and catching the train and riding bikes and hungry. Period. Hungry.
I still ain't ate in LA. I'm still waiting to eat.
I can't do
Still
it.
waiting to eat.
Listen.
And to eat in LA.
I'll even share that my daughter Chloe was 8 when we moved here. And you said you totaled your car. Our car got towed, and it wasn't even our fault. Our apartment lady had told us to put the little sticker pass in the wrong part of the car. We woke up the next morning, vehicle towed. All we had in our account was like a little extra money, enough for the groceries that we were planning to buy. So we didn't even take a vehicle. If I remember correctly, we walked to the place to where the car had been totaled. Me, my husband, and my daughter towed, paid to get the car back, which is crazy.
Wow.
And then had to get, like, we didn't even have enough for that. We stayed while we were in our apartment, we didn't have furniture for like probably 60 days. Like, we were sleeping on mattresses and blankets. We would watch TV. I would prop my phone up against the wall, and me and Chloe would lay on our stomachs and watch TV, watch my phone, watch Netflix on my phone while my husband would be working during the day, and that's how I would there were days where we would sit by the pool all day long. Me and Chloe sitting by the pool all day. I'm trying to find activities. We go into the little event center in the apartment complex, trying to, keep her spirits high. This isn't easy. And so I think back to that. We were buying rice, potatoes, and beans. That was the food.
The 3 foundations.
That was the 3
You got
foundations.
nothing, you got some beans.
You got some beans.
A potato. A thing of potatoes is $3.79.
Literally.
Okay.
And the only reason we ended up getting furniture, because we weren't prepared to get furniture for like 6 months. But I came across this organization, and I hate that the name is slipping my mind because I would love to shout them out. If I can remember, maybe we can put it down at the bottom. But they literally were giving, it's a whole organization, but they give furniture. It's nice furniture to veterans
Oh,
who
wow.
don't have it, and it's here. It's in the Inland Empire.
I love that.
And I came across it by the grace of God, and we pulled up there, and they loaded us with couches,
Wow.
with appliances, with bedroom sets,
Wow.
2-bedroom sets. They literally furnished our entire home.
Wow.
It's crazy how the stuff just start coming back to you.
Yeah.
We forget this
We
stuff.
forget all. It's funny because you're talking about this, and right before even deciding I wanted to be an actor in Houston, the exact same thing. Right after my husband had been shot, and he had just got home from the hospital, and we were about to move into the city, and he was like, "I don't want to be in the city. I just want to be close to your mom," because we had Liam. And my mom was like, "There's this house around the corner. Like, y'all are gonna be able to rent it." And I'm like, "There's no way. Like, we have terrible credit. I'm not gonna get approved for a house. Like, it is not gonna happen." We got approved, and when we moved in, it was the exact same thing. We still have videos and picture of it. There was one chair, and Liam was this big, and he would play on that chair, like, cause he didn't know. He was just running around. Like, he was like, open space. But it's like, you do forget. You forget those moments. You forget, like, the sacrifices that we make. None of that we make, that our children make.
Yeah.
You know, just to be here. Because that's a whole other element of being like, what have they given up? What do they miss out on, right? And but also at the same time, I always say, you know, it's the privilege of poverty, you know, that we have, and you know, my kids are better for it, you know, so that all works out.
It is, and our kids see. I had this conversation with Chloe recently. I've done more for her by allowing her to see us go from struggling to not even having a bedroom for her to now she has a bedroom with a bathroom attached to it and a walk-in closet.
Right.
She's seen the journey, and that does
They're
so
part
much
of
more.
it.
They're a part of it. And now her dreams are so massive.
I was gonna say, we can get back into, so seeing all the things that it took for us to get here, and hearing all the things that happened, that transpired, you know, either on the way here or upon our arrival. What was the single-handed biggest hardship that you guys faced whenever you get here, and what has enabled you to stay? I can go first.
Yeah.
If you need me to. But I know for sure. So for me, you know, things were happening. Things were, you know, right on track with ending my conservatory. And I knew that I wanted to come out to LA. And it just so happened that during that time that I did come out, the pandemic had just ended. And as we know, LA was a nightmare during the pandemic. So even post-pandemic, it was very post-apocalyptic. But I was like, I can do it. Like, if there's a better time to be out here, work's gonna start happening. Yeah. So we packed the family, we moved across, and I got here in August, and about 6-7 months later, the strike happened. The SAG strike. So for me, you know, it was like, oh, things are going to get going. And then it was like, no, how long is this going to last? And to be honest with you, I don't think we've quite recovered from that time, which makes me say that it's kind of the renaissance of the industry right now. The only thing that had me stay was my mama.
Wow.
Like, my mama will not let me quit. I call and quit 10 times a day. And she just battles with me and like speaks so much life into me. And even the moments where I'm literally like, I have no more money. My kids are here. We have no gas, no food, down to one car. Like, there's nothing. She's like, I paid your rent for 2 months. I'm like, what? I'm like, you're not even working.
Wow.
How are you paying my rent, which is almost $4,000, and you live in Texas?
Wow.
And you're not only paying my rent, but you're also able to do that. And a lot of times, like, she would just be like, girl, these unemployment checks just keep coming. I don't know how, but God, like, God just keeps showing up. And he gives it to me and I give it to you.
That's
You know? And so me and my husband, like, we've always just vowed to honor her.
Yes.
And whatever it is that we're doing. And even now, like, we're always so motivated. She's our biggest supporter. Like, she legit will not let us quit.
Oh my God.
Will not let me come home. She's like, Texas is not for you. You've been here all your life. You have no business here. Goodbye.
Come on.
So I think, you know, just having her and having that foundation has been unreal.
Yeah. That's important. Ooh, thank you, Mama.
Yeah, thank you, Mama. Shout out to the
Janine.
mom.
Janine,
Mama
girl.
Janine,
Mama
girl.
Janine,
Thank
child.
you for this one.
Yeah, my mom be like, come on home.
But both are out of love. That's the
Right.
kicker.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
if I told her I was quitting, I don't know what she would say to that, but she would definitely be like, "Well, you can always." She's always like, "You can always come home. You can always come. I got an extra room. You know, Rue want to play with you and her dog, but my mom like
Not
she'll
Rue
dog.
talk to her and say,
Rue.
"Where's Crystal?"
I'm not done with that dog, but no, my mom is not. She's supportive, super supportive, but
Yeah.
she always down. Like right now, if I call her today,
Right.
Yeah.
she's like, "You gonna break the lease?" Like quick.
She like selfishly.
Literally. I love it.
I got space.
Sure.
That's why I always have 2 bedrooms.
But you know what? That too enables us to be able to, because I'll never be homeless.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I will never be homeless
Mhm.
because somebody always gonna give me a couch to stay on, and they're gonna bring these kids too, and they're gonna be okay with it. Like
Mhm.
there's always somebody that is in my life that will not allow that to happen.
Yeah.
But just having that support enables you to continue to go on, because you're like, shoot, if all the money do run out, just go stay in somebody's house
they
for a
gonna
little
help you
bit.
out
For real.
You know, and just having that sometimes is enough of a foundation to keep going.
Yeah. I think the hardest thing I dealt with, honestly, I mentioned it earlier, was just losing my car as soon as I got here and my money dwindling out so fast. But really, it was like retaining work while also pursuing, because I came out here to pursue and to take classes and all this stuff, and figuring out the lay of the land, because that's the most crucial thing here. Is not just being here, but learning how to play the game.
Yep.
People don't realize this is a game we're playing. You don't realize this is it's a marathon, like they always say.
It's chess.
But you have to, it's chess, it's a marathon, all those things. It's like you got to know how to move your man
Yeah.
out here. One wrong move will have you strung out. One wrong move will have you, doing some unmentionable things on a website for some money. And some people are okay with that, but obviously we weren't, and that wasn't our stride or anything. So you have to like be very strategic in how you do things. LA will spit you up, chew you up, spit you out, and throw you away twice in a day. Actually,
No, for real.
Day.
In a day.
You get terrible audition, a parking ticket,
two parking tickets in a day,
right? Like
because you can't read 85 signs on one pole.
Right.
Okay, say parking between 12 and 2, but you can't park
They
from 6
making
to
me
8.
mad.
Right.
And then don't park at night. But then
On
it says
Tuesday.
On Tuesday, because that's when the street sweeper come.
Right.
You can park on the opposite side
But
though.
you gotta have a permit for this. But you can have a permit if you live across the street.
But not right there, because the Petco is right there, and that's where
Yeah.
Petco parking on.
Look,
Yeah.
I know what you're
You
talking
know
about.
exactly this place I'm talking about.
I done got in trouble
Like
there.
I'm dodging at Ralph's. I'm like, let me
Wait.
go buy a stick of gum at Ralph's.
Wait, you can't park at Petco?
No.
Let me tell you, that
you're
lady
not
came out and
supposed to.
chased me. She came out and chased
They
me.
will see you.
So now I go to Ralph's. I park. I get like, I sit there for a little bit, and then I walk along the outside across from the Trader Joe's on the sidewalk, and then I walk to the audition.
I'm new to in person, and so I went there. I parked at Petco. I got
Just don't get caught.
It's attached to the building.
It's just walk into Petco first, and then
Walk
find walk out.
Well, I only did it once. So the first time I parked at the meter, but I didn't know you couldn't park.
Yeah, it was a black lady. She came and got me swift.
They will come for you.
She was very intense about her job. She took it very seriously.
And it'd be a lot of haters too. Like the lady, she knew she was there for an audition.
She did.
They
be hating on
she
that.
was down. Well, she
They
was
do.
there for that audition because you look good.
She did. She was like, "Damn that audition."
And you took my dream.
That's
what
right.
she said.
I didn't take it,
Model.
lady. I didn't take it.
No, you
I
did
suffered
not.
for this.
No, you did.
Please know that.
Ain't that
I
the
just
truth?
don't look like it.
Yeah.
Because of God.
Yeah.
God.
Lord, thank God for that. Mine, like Crystal, was what I spoke about when we first came out here, and just how difficult it was, and the amount of lack we were experiencing physically, not mentally. And I think what kept me here was being grounded. Honestly, I think I'm just crazy because, like, despite everything that I'm so serious,
It's true. You gotta be
despite
crazy.
how jacked up everything was looking in my mind, I never thought that I had made the wrong decision. I was like, oh yeah, this will be fine. Yeah, we're watching TV on the floor now. You don't have a real bed right now, but it's gonna work out.
Oh yeah,
Like I just knew it
for sure.
And then I think as I got older, in this industry, because I've been here almost 8 years now.
Mm.
And I think as I got older in this industry, it's like then you start to, when things don't work out, it's like, okay. And I think what helps me navigate today is still my crazy, but it's also surrounding myself with wise counsel and surrounding myself with like-minded individuals.
Mhm.
You can't come out here and survive being by yourself. I think too many people, I want to be self-made.
Right.
I don't desire that.
Yeah.
No, we need community.
You need community. You need therapy.
Yes. If you're going to be an actor,
You need therapy.
please.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta heal those traumas, those childhood things, those relationship things, those things with your parents. Heal them,
You need it.
please.
And it
then
makes you a
use
better
them.
actor.
Yeah, use them.
You
Heal them.
think the trauma helps. It kind of, but work through the trauma, and that will help you in its totality.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel like one of the things that has also kept me, like you said, is just knowing that I'm supposed to be doing this.
Yes.
Because again, if I didn't know that I wanted to do this at 3, I wouldn't be here today. Period. Because everything I've done, I maxed out at 2 years. Whether it was a flight attendant, teacher, whatever it was, I could only do 2 years at a job because I was like, I can't get stuck doing this. And people, like you said, thought I was crazy because I am.
Mm-hmm.
I know my daddy be talking about me. He's like, Chris crazy. She did this. She did that. She did this and that. And that's a whole other episode in terms of like how many crazy things I've done to get here. Because it wasn't just a straight shot. It wasn't like, oh, I came here, when I was 18 and then I left for a little bit. No, I came here like three times before I stayed. This is the longest I've ever been in LA. And I've been here 7 years this time. The first time I was only here for a year. The second time I was only here for a few months. But this time I stayed the longest, even though this was the most trying of times. Yeah. But I knew, and I know that this is where I'm supposed to be. And I love it. And I'm growing and I'm becoming the woman that I want to be.
In the city where you wanted to be.
Space.
Doing what you wanted to be doing.
Yeah.
And when you are able to do that, like, it's priceless because then you can look that 3-year-old or that 4-year-old in the mirror and be like, oh no, girl.
Yeah. It was always you.
She's doing it. She like is literally the thing that we came out to, and I think proving that even the small victories. I had a classmate the other day, you know who you are. I had a classmate the other day that was like, I'm moving. Like my lease is about to be up. We all heard this. My lease is about to be up. LA's just not cutting it. I'm going to go to Atlanta. And see what's out there. And it was so funny because there was one other person she was talking to who is very aggressive and like very active in the city of LA. And I'm always just about like, did you make the list and did you check all the boxes before you decided to leave? And she hadn't gotten new headshots. She doesn't even have an agent. I'm like, you're not even auditioning. So what do you expect to get at another place? Like something else is going to happen when you haven't even gone through the process to even land an audition. Yeah. So you're quitting on a city that you haven't even really begun in just because you decided just being here was enough. Yeah. Now, this is someone who's incredibly talented. She's gone through 4 years of Meisner training. Like, she is a monster. Like, when I tell you, like, I'm like, you are who I want to be. Yeah. Like, in your looseness and your fullness and your everything. Yet, I'm going out on 5 to 10 auditions every week, and she's, not. And I'm like, girl, like,
you gotta have drive.
You just have to have drive. You could do the other thing. I guarantee you are booking all day. Yeah. And so for her, like, she really hurt us, like, because that's the other thing. It's like, you can hear people give you advice all the time, but if you don't take it, if you're one of those people like, I don't know what to do, then someone tells you what to do, and you're like, I don't know. Well, then sit there not knowing. Yeah. Because I'm tired of explaining.
They come up with a bunch of excuses.
Right.
It just irritates me so much.
Don't come ask me for any more information. For all of you out there that have liked to ask me how to do one of the 9,000 things that I do, if you don't want to do it, don't ask me. Go to YouTube.
Or is she going to charge you next time?
Please.
She's wasting our time.
We are wasting. I have very limited time. And so, but to her credit, she went back and she was like, all right, I'm going to hire a coach. I'm going to make sure she signed up for commercial classes. Like, she's like, when can we go do some test headshots? When can we? And I'm like, yes. Yeah. Because by the time you graduate, your last year of this conservatory, like be ready to be like bow and arrowed into action, like because it's time, right? And it's like having those people in community just to be like, oh hell no, like what do you think you're doing?
Like, and also like getting out to and networking with people. And it's not just like, oh, what can you do for me, but just be of service to
other people.
Other people, be of service.
Say that.
Get out and know people. Robbie Reed said this last year, right? She said, or they all said it collectively. It was like, it's not who you know, but it's who knows you.
It's who knows you.
Absolutely.
And you're not making rounds. You don't have to be turning up at these events. You just show up and show yourself to be of value. I'm a talented person. Not only am I talented, I'm also a professional person. I'm not sloppy drunk in public. I'm not like all these things. We still have to have professional development. You still need to be a professional at all times. But getting out because somebody else, I won't say who, my ex, I love you though. I wish you the best. But he just left.
Yeah.
You know, after being here for 5 years, he was like, yeah, you know, I gave it 5 years. You know, and I'm out. He came during COVID. But I would never see him out. I know I'm shading him now. I'm sorry. But I would never see you out. And that bothered me because I was rooting for you. And I'm still rooting for you. But those types of things, I never saw him partaking in events, not even the open calls, you know, the things that we kind of wince at a little bit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see him there. And then I'm like, well, what have you been doing? He's like, I'm in class. I'm like, okay. At first he wasn't in class, but then he got in class. But now he's packed his bags and going back to Texas, and like he's talented,
right?
But he's not navigating the rooms,
right?
You know, or the relationships, maximizing those, and you know, you can only do so much,
right?
The most talented person is not the one that wins; it's the one that continues.
Yeah,
persist.
That prompts me to ask one more question.
Yeah.
What did you guys do before you moved out here in your smaller markets that you feel like prepared you to be in this bigger market? I think that's so important for people who are watching that are in a smaller market.
Yeah.
I can start.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was first of all, with my ex, I'm sorry, I didn't bring him up in this. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I love you.
We sorry.
But he was in which is so
you're helping people.
Like as a case study right now. But when we were living in Texas, we were living together, and he's an actor as well. So he got signed on to Pastorini Bosque. Shout out to Pat PB in Houston, the agency. I've been there. That was my first agency. But let me tell you what happened. So when I first got back to Texas or moved to Texas, I was trying to get signed with them. They signed him on the dot, like it's immediately. He was a handsome guy, you know, very nice looking and all this. So they picked him up for commercial and across the board at the time. I submitted, they were like, no. And I was like, because I knew I was talented. But they would always be so kind as to send you a card and tell you why. And so they were like, the first time I did it, it wasn't for acting, it was for voiceover. I sent them my voice demo. Oh, we're not looking for voice. I was like, dang. I was like, okay. Then I waited like maybe 6 months, 8 months later. I submitted again. It was like, oh, you need acting classes. And I was like, ah. So I took a class, but it wasn't a good class. And needless to say, I got denied again. They said you need more training and more on your resume. That's something that they said. So they gave me that feedback, and so I took classes. And when I took classes, I was with Deke Anderson. Shout out to Deke Anderson in Houston as well. I was in the class though, and you know you're a little intimidated because everybody acts like they're just such hot shit in I don't know
in Texas.
I'm cousin or what, but they just act like they're here, you know, and so you might come in a little intimidated, like, dang, I ain't been in the market and I can't get signed to an agent. They're all signed to the agency. And you take the class and you realize these people suck.
Because they spend their time talking and not doing.
Yeah, and then no shade in real, like to my friends, because my friends are the ones who working, and everybody cool. But there were some people who sucked. And I was like, man, the people who I really admired actually weren't as good as I thought they were. And eventually I surpassed them, and then I moved on to the advanced class quickly, rather quickly. And once I got there, those were the ones I was really intimidated by. I wasn't really intimidated by the regular like students, but I wanted to get in that advanced class, and I got in there fast. And then got there, and I realized they're not as good as I thought they were. And that's what made me realize you should probably go to LA. That was the thing, and I know it's a long segue for that, but I that was what made me feel like I can come to LA and do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then also I had another coach who I began coaching with shortly after. He would come down to Houston and teach. And I took his class and I was like one of the top students. And then I come to LA. Remember I told you that I would take Spirit fly out here.
Mm-hmm.
So one time I came out here on Spirit and went to the Bay. Then I came down to LA. This is 6 hours apart, by the way. This is a 6 hour trek. But when you're in California, you kind of do like a little road trip situation. And that's what I did. So I came down to LA for a few days and I audited his advanced class. And yet again, we're in LA now. And I'm like, these cats are not as good as I thought they would be. And I was like, you need to come out here and take off all their heads.
Not take the head off.
I mean, that's what it felt like. It felt like these people aren't serious. I want this. Y'all just in class. I want this. And I'm not.
There's a difference.
And I had that energy.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't aggressive energy. I'm being aggressive now, but it was more so like I felt confident. I felt overly confident, not cocky, not arrogant at all. I'm always been nice and cordial and loving to everybody. But I just knew I was like, I can take their job if I wanted to. And so I need to because I want it bad enough. And I put in the time, the effort, and the energy, the blood, sweat, and the tears. And so that's what I did. And I came out here and like I said, I fell on my butt, but we got back up.
Right. We got back up.
And then I booked all the things that I thought I would start booking once I got here. I wanted the Colgates and the Walmart, not the Walmart, but the Colgates and the, face of the brand kind of auditions that I wasn't getting in Houston because it's a different market. And as soon as I got here, I got with Fabletics. That's my first modeling gig was with Fabletics and Rainbow Curves. Both of them were athleisure athletic wear. So I began modeling immediately here. And then I booked all these things immediately here. So that was another confirmation of me coming here because as soon as I got here, I started booking. Within 3 months, like when I totaled my car, I started booking stuff.
Wow.
Actually, my first month here, I booked. First month, I booked United Nations. Yeah. Cute little skit that we did. It was really funny with a goat. But you work those little $100 gigs, $200 gigs until you can get and ask for more or become a union or member or whatever. But it's a journey. Yeah. But those are the things that let me know I was right where I was supposed to be and that I needed to come out here.
Yeah.
That's like 15 minutes.
No, that's good though. That's good. I think what I took from that is training. So before you move from your smaller market to this larger market, get training because not only is it going to help you grow, but it's also going to allow you to see the other people that are striving to do what you're striving to do.
In the space you're looking to do it in.
In the space you're looking.
And that's where a lot of information is shared. When you go on break, y'all talk. You talk about who the best agent is. Oh, who's your agent? How did you get this job? Da, 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 da.
What classes are you taking?
Yeah.
What teacher did you take there?
Who's your agent? All those things. You ask those questions and you find out, you get the tea, basically. That's when you spread tea, then you got to go back to class. But then the next day, you say, oh, can I see your resume? Or can I get the link to your Actors Access or whatever? Or where do I submit? Like all the questions you want to ask can either, the teachers don't usually give that information. You got to do like a workshop for that.
They don't even like to whenever you are doing, they're not consultants in that matter. Like some of them might have some opinions, but really they're there to just coach you.
Yeah. But some of them, and this is like segueing everywhere, but some of them do have relationships with agents and they can maybe refer you, but you have to be that girl. You have to be that.
They ain't giving out them referrals.
They don't be giving.
Even if you are that girl, they're still like
they're gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Our teachers won't even maybe give you a referral until you finish that program. Like they're not. They're like, "What? You're still trash. What are you over here trying to do?"
I'm
like,
done with
and
you
what
yet.
Trash am I referring out here in these cities of Los Angeles?
That's
like,
funny.
But you get it because I'm the same way with referrals and talking to people because I have a really good pedigree.
Yeah.
I have spent a lot of time and going back to the question of like, what did you do? Again, I was going back. Somebody asked me about something that I did in one of my many past lives. And of course, I have everything on Instagram. And this has been 10 years of work and really looking back and being like, girl, like you work. Like, not just today. Like, you've been working.
You've been that
right?
girl.
But it was because when I was in Houston, I
hustled. You know, they could say it's H-Town, it's hustle town, but like there is no way for you to become a star in Houston. Like it's just not. Like let's just be honest. Sorry, Houstonians.
You be a star in Houston, but not a star in Houston.
Right.
Yeah.
But you really like you have to do the work. And to add to this, before I go into that, I will say if you are in Texas or are in another market, don't feel like you can't take classes online that are in LA because then you're able to add to your pedigree. Because when you come out here, people went to Yale, people went to like the top acting schools. And really built up who they are in this industry. And those are the people that are getting selected. So you come out with your little local, you know, acting class, it ain't gonna cut it. Like nobody's cutting for you, unfortunately. So I would say build that. But the biggest thing for me is like I didn't say no to anything. If it was a hosting gig, I was hosting the Improv. I was modeling for free. I was hand modeling for food companies. I like literally did everything. Like, but what happened was there was a small group of people who knew I was hungry. That one, shout out to Jesse Dugan. My ring's on my finger. Jesse Dugan was Tory Burch's head runway jewelry designer.
Wow.
And left New York to come back to Houston because she's from Houston and wanted to start her own brand. Mm-hmm. And I met her at a fashion show that somebody randomly asked me to. And I sat next to, there was another Crystal in Houston who was one of the VPs at Ebony Magazine. And like, that's how I got my start. But I had something to show them. I had photos to show them. I had hosting gigs to show them. Like I had all of these things that I had done for free. Mm-hmm. Like none of it was paid. Like I think I was making like $80 at the Improv. Shout out to Carlos Wallace at the Improv in Houston. But there was one thing he always told me. He said, you know when you're a professional, when you get paid for it. Mm-hmm. And I don't care if it's $1. And I was like, well, I'm a professional. Like I am here. But it was those gigs that like gave me that tenacity to get myself in rooms and to like speak and not be shy. And then after that, the lady who did find me, that just, you know, discovered me, Jessie Dugan, she was like, I know an agent. And I was like, what's an agent? And I was like, how much do they cost? She's like, nothing. I'm like, what do you mean nothing? I thought they take percentages. She was like, they don't make money unless you do. And she introduced me to my agent, who is still my agent. Shout out to Rebecca Beasley, who's been my agent from the very beginning for commercials and is still repping me in Texas. And that was the moment that like got me in the room to like start doing auditions. But then what you didn't realize is because we didn't have self-tape auditions. Mm-hmm. You had to self-tape on the first one, but you had to come in for that callback. And that callback was in Austin.
Yep.
2.5 hours away.
Yes.
And each way. Mm-hmm. And so in order for us to get a callback or book something in Texas, you had to do your self-tape. Or, no, matter of fact, there was no self-tape. You had to drive to Austin to do the audition, come back home the next day, then drive out the very next day to do the callback because your girl was getting these callbacks. Mm-hmm. Come on. And then on top of that, to go out there to shoot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so when most people were like, oh, it's a lot. Oh, I can't drive. Oh, I don't have any gas money. I was calling everybody. You got $10. I need to get to Austin because gas was $10. Like everything that I would do. But my husband would always tell me, you said that you wanted to do this. Mm-hmm. So don't ever come to me saying, oh, I'm too tired to do an audition. Ooh. Or don't you ever be like, oh, this part isn't for me. Jealous. Or I have never said no to an audition. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because my husband would lose his mind because he was like, this is what you wanted to do. Yeah. And because of that, every single thing that I am made up of today is because of all those like free yeses that I was out there getting, all those movements we were making. And I used to always say every mile, everyone would be like, it's so many miles on your car. And I still say it because my car now has over like 350,000 miles on it. Same cars.
Crazy.
Every mile that I drive was like a coin that God would drop into my piggy bank. And no matter whether I booked it or not, like I was being filled up with those miles. And I'm still calculating those miles. So even now when I'm driving to class in Santa Monica and it takes me 2 hours and everyone's like, oh my God, I had such a long day. And I'm like, girl, you drove 10 minutes to get here. Yeah. Sit down. Like, and people are like, I can't believe that you would do that. And I'm like, I came all the way from Texas with children. I will do I am crazy.
Yeah.
I am crazy. I will make the drive. So the people that aren't willing to do it, there is somebody else that is.
Yeah.
And that I think is the theme and the energy that LA brings. Is like
Yes.
whatever you won't do, somebody will,
Somebody
right?
will.
So
Keeps you on your toes.
keeps you on
Keeps you on
your
your
toes.
toes. To that driving, I used to drop Chloe off at elementary school, drive to Austin, do an audition, and be back just in time
Pick
to
her up. Girl, don't we know that story?
Yes.
Don't daycare.
Yes.
Daycare. Be there in 6 minutes.
I'm right there.
I'm right here.
up the street.
I'm around the corner. Please hold. Please hold.
Ain't no Bucky stops.
No,
Nothing.
Dang.
We got
Bucky. Can we talk about the Bucky
Bucky.
stops on the way to the audition? You have to
Bucky.
stop at Bucky's to use the toilet there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I used to get the banana bread. I love that banana bread.
Oh my God, the
that was like
pecans.
my and I got an audition. I got excited because I get to get banana bread on the way.
The giant bag of fries. They would have the little grease at the bottom. The fudge. The fries were
I
off the
didn't
chain.
eat anything but the bread.
Oh, the
'Cause I
pulled
didn't eat
pork.
In my
I don't
meat
eat
eating
pork.
days,
In
the
my
beef
meat
jerky
days. Oh.
was for
I
me.
didn't. I don't eat turkey.
I even got a Bucky's neck pillow. So when I would ride, like Bucky would be right here.
As a support.
As
on your
support.
journey.
I love shout out to Bucky.
Shout
Shout out to Bucky's with those
Buc-ee's.
clean bathrooms.
The
Thank
cleanest.
you.
It is the HEB of gas stations.
Come on.
And also, people don't know what HEB is. It's a fantastic grocery chain in
Unbelievable.
Texas. But Bucky's is also a fantastic
Pit
pit
stop.
stop in Texas. I think they
Mhm.
have like one in Louisiana, maybe, or something like that. But
Fair experience.
anyway, this is our journey,
This is our journey.
This is
Yeah.
our
This is our journey.
and we make it work for us.
We make it work for us.
So this is
We
something
have
that you aspire to do. You just got to learn how to make it work for you.
know how to make it work. Know that there's going to be sacrifice,
Mm-hmm.
but know that it's all worth it.
Every ounce of it.
Yeah. And take advantage of your small market. If you're
For
still in a
sure.
small market, take advantage of it. Get training.
Mississippi, Louisiana, there's
Yeah.
work.
There's
Yeah.
Zoom. There's
Yes.
work. Like,
Accept the work.
do background and see what it's like to be on set. Learn
Yeah.
something from being on set.
To
and
see
don't-
if you even like it.
yeah,
Some stuff
'cause you
on
might
your
not.
yes.
I see people all the time that get booked and they're like, is it time to go home? I'm like, girl,
You don't want this.
you done waited your whole life to get on set and you trying to get off.
Mhm.
It's
What are we
crazy,
doing?
What are
because
we
when
doing?
when you actually are working, you are going to be tired.
You're
You
gonna be
are going to
tired.
be. We talk about
Sitting.
that another day. It's a
Yeah.
lot of rushing and waiting, but
It
we'll
is.
talk about that another
And
time.
if you don't really want it, then yep.
Somebody does.
Yes.
Hopefully you win. That's a wrap for this episode.
Yes. Thank
Life
you guys.
Offset.
Life
Yes.
offset.
Now, make sure you guys do the thing. Make sure you like, share, follow, comment, question, message, get in the DMs if it's
Yes.
appropriate. Do
Yeah.
all the things.
Yes.
We'd like to see you guys here soon. Let us know again if you guys have any questions or any thoughts about Life
Anything.
Offset.
We really mean that. Like, give
Yeah.
us your questions because we will answer them
We
here for
take
you.
questions. This is your
Yes.
time to do it because we're busy.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.